You ready for another bout?
You hear the cheers from the crowd as we move on into our card. This is our third fight of the evening. Matthew Gurin about to enter the ring now against ISMAEL GUZMAN. Eric Rogers here on the broadcast with Peter Johannes on TVW. Chosen Few Fighting Championships 25. 2 fights down, many more to go.
Both great fights to start the night off, right?
Well, certainly two different ways to watch a fight, to experience it. One, a technical fight that goes the distance, and the other, boy, that's pure aggression. So Manny Perez ended that one quickly. And now we move into this one. Ironworks Training Center for Matthew Gurin. That's his gym, making his MMA debut. And again, we just saw a couple of fights with men who are making their MMA debut. So what do we make out of that so far, Peter?
Well, I talked to Nick Johnson. It's his coach right there, just walking right past us. You know, before the event started, I asked him a little bit about Matthew Gurin, and he said he came into the gym totally green, no background in wrestling, no background in striking. He's been training about 8 months, putting in a lot of work, fairly well-rounded. He said he would call him more of a striker than a wrestler, but he said he can do both. He said he's got a really high hopes that this guy's going to be a legit prospect.
Well, certainly you have to have the attitude to go with it. You know, you don't just join MMA on a whim. So 8 months of training against ISMAEL GUZMAN, who has 1 fight under his belt, 1 win, no losses from Fearless MMA in this 170-pound bout. And as we've seen Fearless MMA here tonight already, making itself known, and the presence of those fighters. And here is ISMAEL GUZMAN. What do we know about? We know what Fearless MMA does with its fighters, but is it something where we might expect a ground game from GUZMAN, or what do we know about this gentleman?
So it's a smaller gym in Janesville. Patrick Delgado is a very, very good coach. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. His guys always come to fight. Just because the coach is a grappler doesn't mean that the student will be. He can just polish off, or help them learn some of what he knows. You never know. GUZMAN may be a natural striker. That being said, Fearless has been around for a long time. Patrick went to war here with Mark Lemminger, one of the all-time great fights here. So I expect all of his students to be fairly well-rounded, whether they're a debut or they're 4 or 5 fights in. Like I said before, Josh Sterry does an excellent job of matching these guys up. That's the thing about it, is when guys they don't have any prior experience, you got to find out exactly, what's to them. You got to rely on the coaches and the gyms, and that's kind of what we get here in Wisconsin.
Certainly a lot of experience in those promotions for Josh Sterry, and learning, having to research to do this so that we give you the best possible fights. And as you mentioned, Mark Lemminger and Patrick Delgado, if you want to go watch that fight, you can go into the archives of TVW and find that one. It's certainly worth going back and watching. See Gurin here out of the blue corner making his MMA debut. What kind of fight we are about to expect, we'll see here momentarily. Chosen Few 25, not disappointing so far. Stone-faced GUZMAN against a very calm and collected Matthew Gurin.
Gurin has not stopped looking at GUZMAN since he got into the cage.
There it is, just a slight touch of the gloves, and it's down to business.
GUZMAN with an inside leg kick.
Both had the same idea. Ooh, Gurin jumping on the back, and whoa!
This is a fast pace.
That certainly is.
Looking to lock in a rear naked choke. He's got the back. This is
not
a big back
about
slam.
all you can do. GUZMAN putting his full body weight into that jump. That one had to hurt it. You don't get the wind knocked out of you, I don't know.
Doesn't quite have it. This is a tough position right here.
It's early in the fight to try something like that.
Early in the fight, both these guys are dry. They haven't started sweating yet, so the grips are there. Big hammer fists crashing down for GUZMAN right now.
Oh, there's blood coming from right above the right eye.
I see it.
GURIN in danger here.
GURIN is just looking to survive right now. He started off, thought maybe he was going to lock in that rear naked choke. And anytime there's a cut in an amateur fight, the doctors, the refs, they take a real close look at it.
As those blows continue to rain down.
They're coming down, but they're not fully landing.
GURIN now pushing himself up against the cage to try and protect himself a little bit, but it's not stopping GUZMAN from putting in the effort.
No. GURIN is a bloody mess right now.
At some point, the official's going to look at this one, and now it almost looking like switching the other direction.
It looks like he's looking to roll for an armbar here. He's got it. He's got it.
Slipped out.
He's got it.
Nope. Other one. Okay. GUZMAN has got a lot of energy and strength to be able to lift 170-pound GURIN 3 times now.
Wow.
Now into side control. And if this is a pro fight, those elbows were in the perfect place.
Oh, you bet. Now to full mount.
Yep.
If he just pours it on right here, I don't think Tom will let this keep going the full 45 seconds. I'd like to see him shorten those punches up a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's popping the hips, GURIN is, to try and scoot GUZMAN off.
He's got to get a little space here. Double hammer fists coming down. Not landing, though. He stops it.
Now we'll see if this the official stoppage. It looks like it is. GUZMAN will come away victorious. GURIN fought him off as long as he could, but I think too much blood in that one, Johannes.
You know, they're young in their amateur career. I mean, that's a bad gash he's got above his eye. One thing we do know is scar tissue above the eyes is very real. It becomes easier and easier and easier to get cut. So they want to protect him as much as possible. Like I said, it's an amateur fight, not a pro fight.
And that is how the MMA career will begin for Matthew GURIN. GUZMAN moves to 2-0. And we'll get the official announcement here momentarily. But wow, a great effort. An exciting fight for sure. Not the way that GURIN thought this one would go after he jumped on the back early.
I thought he had that when he. Right.
Now we'll go to the decision.
Your referee, Tom Davalis, has called a halt to this contest. 2 minutes, 39 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by TKO, ISMAEL GUZMAN.
And in the very first round, GUZMAN takes care of business. Lets GURIN know it's all respect. And that's 3 fights down here from the Monona Terrace Convention Center for Chosen Few Fighting Championships 25. We will head to the next one after the break.